Everyone that watches movies and series is aware that there are sometimes moments that are simply tearjerkers. The series we are focused on today is Outlander. Outlander features some truly sad scenes that are sure to bring tears to the eyes of most viewers. If you didn't cry to Jamie's reaction after his godfather's death, the death of Claire's daughter would do the trick. So, what are the most heartbreaking moments in Outlander? Firstly, let's rank Outlander's steamiest moments involving Jamie and Claire. In the last position on the list for today is a scene that occurred in episode 1 of season 4. After realizing how dangerous the new world can be, Jamie and Claire find a comfortable and secure camping location in the woods. The two converse deeply around a roaring campfire and make the earth-shattering declarations of love that the drama's fans have come to expect. Jamie asked, "Don't you realize how little death is in comparison to us?" saying that his soul will be Claire's even when his body passes away. They then permit their desires to ignite like the flames nearby with declarations of that nature. The next one took place in episode 9, season 3. Jamie and Claire are stranded at sea with no wind and a diminishing water supply while sailing on the Artemis to Jamaica. Due to a particular living arrangement with the yet-to-be-married Marsali and Fergus, they have also been separated at night. It's plenty to rejoice about when it rains after a long time. Their joyful attitude swiftly changes into an urgent getting together in an empty storage room as they stumble through the hallways. In 7th place, we have a scene in episode 11 of season 3. A wild evening on board the ship begins with Jamie and a hurt Claire after Marsali and Fergus gets married. Claire can barely give herself the necessary antibiotics before the aphrodisiac kicks in as she devours a sherry-filled turtle soup provided by devoted companion Mr. Willoughby. She tells Jamie in an inebriated manner to bolt the door. The next moment occurred in episode 9 of the first season. The newlyweds at this moment still have a lot to learn about one another. Jamie reprimands Claire for disobeying him after saving her from the ruthless Blackjack Randall, risking the lives of his men in the process. But she also needs to set her own limits, as she wants to be treated equally with him. And he comprehends. Jamie swears, brandishing a dagger, saying that if ever his hand is raised in defiance against her again, then he prays that the holy iron pierces his heart. In 5th place, we have a scene in episode 8 of season 2. Jamie and Claire return to Lallybroch as tensions between England and Scotland increase. There, Jamie admits his ancestry by telling Claire that his father was a bastard. He says he is sorry for the secret and that it was weak-minded of him. He is reassured by Claire that it has no bearing on her. Less is more when it comes to being sexy, as evidenced by the sincere and private moment that leads to Jamie picking Claire up and carrying her to bed. The next moment happened in episode 4 of the 2nd season. Their budding romance is dampened by Jamie's horrible mistreatment at the hands of Blackjack, but Claire is adamant about helping her husband recover. After a brief argument, Jamie departs to sleep in a different room. Claire, however, has other plans. She enters covertly and ensnares him. She implores Jamie to come to find her. We are now diving into the top 3 steamiest moments of Jamie and Claire. The next moment occurred in episode 13 of the 2nd season. Jamie makes the terrible choice to use the mystical stones at Cre Nadun to bring a pregnant Claire back in time just hours before the Battle of Culloden. Before Claire is aware of where Jamie is taking her, she is in the clearing. He starts saying their goodbyes with little time to spare. They enjoy their last moments together. In the 2nd place is a scene that occurred in episode 6 of season 3. Both for the audience and the recently reunited Jamie and Claire, 20 years of estrangement and repressed appetites were intolerable. After a heartbreaking goodbye kiss in Jamie's print shop, he finds out that Claire's only motivation for coming back from the future was to be with him. And it just took that for things to get heated. "So will you join me in bed?" he says. A night-long rediscovering that follows leaves both parties feeling incredibly content. The steamiest moment was in the 7th season of season 1. The title of this early episode, The Wedding, may have just as easily been The Consummation. A detailed account of Jamie and Claire's passionate first date as husband and wife is given, including details about their first 3 times in bed. We want to watch this episode over and over again because of the couple's growing confidence in one another. Claire tells her new spouse that she wants to look at him, so he should take off his top. After her slow walk around evaluation, he responded, telling her to remove her top as well. The most heartbreaking moments in Outlander ranked. In 10th place is John Grey's unrequited love. Infected with the measles while visiting the Frasers with Willie, Lord John has a sorrowful conversation with Claire in which he expresses his love for Jamie despite knowing that it can never be reciprocated. Give him his own spin-off right away. There's a reason he's a fan favorite. The next moment is Claire's '60s escape dream. The season 5 finale of Outlander features one of the show's most shocking scenes when Claire is abducted and viciously beaten while Jamie tries to find her and rescue her. In order to detach herself from the reality of her predicament while she is experiencing the trauma of being kidnapped, Claire imagines herself secured in Jamie's arms in the 1960s. Watching the unwavering character go through such tragedies is both stunning television and utterly upsetting. In 8th place, we have Brianna's attack. When Brianna tries to reclaim her mother's ring from the evil Stephen Bonnet, he attacks her while everyone in the tavern listens and does nothing. It is a terrible time for Claire and Jamie's daughter, and it has a big impact on the rest of the series. In 7th place, we have Jamie's father's death. We already know that Black Jack Randall is a horrible guy, but Jamie's devastating account of the passing of his father Brian demonstrates the extent of the harm Jack caused to the Fraser family. In the episode, Jamie tells Claire that his father passed away after suffering a heart attack during his flogging. Jenny, his sister, believes that Jamie was to fault for his death because he must have provoked Jack. The memory of Jamie's father passing out in the throng is a complete heartbreaker. When Jamie meets Brianna comes in 2nd place. At least one happy tear moment has to be included, right? Fans eagerly anticipated the reunion of Jamie and Bree, and they were not disappointed. As they realized how much of each other's life they have missed, their reunion is both happy and sad. Jamie admits that he has always thought of her as his babe. The next moment is when Claire finds out what happened to Fergus. Claire's rage at Jamie's treachery for dueling with Jack Randall after swearing he wouldn't is one of the episode's most upsetting aspects. But once poor Fergus tells her that Jack attacked him and Jamie saved him, his choice suddenly makes sense to Claire. The young actor who plays Fergus does an excellent job, yet it is difficult to see. In 4th place, we have the moment when Jamie said there was no more Claire. Blackjack tortures Jamie, causing him physical and psychological harm until he has a vision of Claire. He then realizes that she isn't actually there and starts to cry, stating, "There's no more Claire," implying that he is unable to see her and that he believes he will never see her again. We are now diving into the top 3 most heartbreaking moments in Outlander. Next, the death of Murtagh. Sam Heughan does an amazing job portraying Jamie's reaction to the death of his godfather as he begs Claire to heal him and finds it difficult to accept Murtagh's loss. Jamie started reminding Murtagh that he didn't release him from his pledge, saying he could not leave him. This is probably where viewers completely broke down. In the 2nd place, we have a sad moment involving Jamie and Claire. One of our most tragic moments has to be when Jamie finally tells Claire the totality of his trauma while also informing her of his belief that he can no longer be her husband as a result of what happened to him in an episode so sad we had to feature it twice. Of course, Claire strongly disagrees and convinces him otherwise, but viewers are undoubtedly in tears with both of them. The most heartbreaking moment is when Claire says goodbye to baby Faith. The most heartbreaking episode of Outlander is perhaps Faith, which examines the tragic death of Claire and Jamie's stillborn daughter. In the episode, Claire, who has also recently lost a loved one, struggles mightily and struggles to give up Faith until her friend Louise de la Tour gently reminds her that it is time to part ways. We'll never understand how the entire cast managed to keep from crying. That brings us to the end of today's video. Which of the heartbreaking moments mentioned earlier was the saddest to you? Which series do you want us to feature in a video? Let us know in the comment section. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.